Hi, I'm Dave Baitenger, and I want to discuss neuroscience for educators. Neuroscience can help educators maintain patience, optimism, and professionalism with their students. It can also increase credibility with colleagues and parents, and for them, it can renew their sense of professional purpose. With the students, it explains why students are the way they are. It gives them reasons as to why the students don't learn as quickly as they feel they should, or if there's other problems with it. So neuroscience gives them some information about how the students and how they can reach their students. With colleagues and parents, it gives them a reference as to what they're talking about. So when they're discussing this with the parents or with a colleague, it gives them some background information. It gives them a source as to how they feel and how they can back up what they're saying. Now, for themselves, it refines what they are doing and how to accomplish it. So it gives them an idea of how they can reach the students and what the best way of best taught methods are. Now, the problem is that there's limited ability to turn the research into classroom practice. One of the difficulties is that some of the research gets mixed up and we end up with a myth. One such situation is that there are a number of styles of learning, such as visual, oral, and kinesthetic, and that certain children respond better if teaching is directed towards their preferred learning style. Now, even though research has proven this to be incorrect, teachers in schools still get training on these different styles of ways of teaching students. In a paper by Myron Dembo and Keith Howard, they concluded learning styles, instruments have not been shown to be valid and reliable. There is no benefit to matching instruction to preferred learning style, and that there is no evidence that understanding one's learning style improves learning or its related outcome. Knowing this, and yet still, if you Google learning styles, you will get more than 16 million links on it. And that's all because these websites claim its effectiveness, but yet they have no solid research to back up this misinformation that they are saying. And then there's a myth about the brain itself. The brain is a perfect storehouse of life's memory. Now, from our book, How We Learn by Benedict Carey, he states, the brain does not store facts, ideas, and experiences like a computer does, as a file that is clicked open and always displays the identical image. It embeds them in networks of perceptions, facts, and thoughts, slightly different combinations, which bubble up each time. And that just received memory doesn't overwrite the previous ones, but it intertwines them and overlaps it. So nothing's completely lost, but that memory trace is altered, and it's altered for good. Which basically says that even if you were there and you saw something, you might not remember it as exactly as you thought you remembered it. And that could be one of the problems with students, is that they can watch you and they can see you teach something, but are they going to remember it as exactly as you showed it? Or are they going to remember it and maybe something was slightly different, which could cause problems in math? Another one that is out there, the myth, that it says that areas of your brain light up or suddenly become active in response to events in the world. Now, we know from our reading that your whole brain is active at all times. Right? It must handle a constant flow of information. In the book, they even describe your REM sleep and show that even when you're sleeping, your brain is still on. Now, what I think happens is that your brain takes in a lot of information during the day. So while you're awake, your brain is just getting flooded with more and more information and new data, and it just takes it and it just stores all that data. Well, then at night, when you go to sleep, now your eyes are closed. So now your brain isn't really taking in more data. So what it does is it takes the time and it doesn't shut down. And if you look at the wavelengths in the REM sleep, you'll know that it's not shutting down. It's continuing to go on. So what it's doing is, I think it's processing all that information that you received during the day. And what it actually does is it takes that information and it files it. So it breaks it up and it stores it to where it thinks it needs, so that it can come back and it can recall that information or bring it back to you. And that's how I think that neuroscience can really be effective and help the educators. Thank you.